Tellurium is a remedy which occurs with gold, silver and lead. The word tellurium originates from the Latin word tellus, which means earth. The strong desire for recognition like selenium and skin affections like sulfur. The expressions are predominantly soric in childhood and tubercular in the latter part of life. They are haughty, but not as much as palladium or platina. Tellurium is made up of some genuine stuff. He is always prepared to do something new and different. He has tremendous creativity and imagination. This wild level of imagination makes him do something which is tangential to the norms defined by the world. That is why tellurium, when a child or when in the soric phase, will be the creator of new ideas, concepts and revolution. Whether he is a teacher, scientist, athlete, artist, musician, painter, writer, singer, or wherever artistic qualities are required, he will create or give something different to the world.
If it is poetry, they will not follow normal rules and balance. They will create something with abstract expressions. If they are painters, they will paint something like modern art or use some new material or new styles to present the work. They are happy and content when they are creating something new. However, with their inherent talent, quality and ability, there is a very strong craving for recognition and applause. This need for appreciation and recognition is a very important feature of tellurium. They express these emotions very clearly, but the moment something doesn't go right or up to their expectations, they become impatient. The alternating symptoms are very dominant. Impatience alternating with cheerfulness, gaiety, happiness and mirth. This is the only remedy in which these two symptoms alternate. Tellurium is very impatient by nature. This is because they have too many expectations from self and also from others.
This impatience is expressed in a number of ways. Excitement. They get excited and start behaving in an abnormal way. They become restless and agitated. Anger, temper tantrums and violence. This is seen in children and young adults. Delusions, as if they are floating in air. Mental depression. The causative factors are disappointment, professional derecognition, poor performance, humiliation and spinal injury. As mentioned earlier, tellurium always requires recognition and admiration. They are so sensitive, oversensitive to failure, which they cannot digest easily. A poor performance or humiliation is enough to put them off for a long time. They react in a very disproportionate manner and feel that their career has ended, and they encase themselves in a shell, which is very difficult to break.
They also develop a sense of retention, as if something is remaining and left behind. There is a feeling as if something remains to be completed.
The loss of creativity leads to depression and more depression. The work in hand is just left as it is, and the person who was in a good position and status starts wasting his time in doing nothing. They start neglecting everything. They do not care for their creativity and art, and develop dullness and sluggishness in thinking and comprehending. The sharp creative mind goes into the psychotic phase, where they are lazy and have a feeling of being used up. Laziness takes charge of their life, and all vivacity is lost. Laziness is so strong that work appears to be impossible. Many pieces, paintings, are left half done.
Tellurium is also a remedy for people who retire after being in a top position. like teachers, painters, athletes, musicians or singers.
Such as self-imposed premature retirement makes him leave all activities and exercise, and he develops obesity. When he develops obesity, he feels more useless and more depressed.
They feel useless, depressed and unwanted. They also remember their incomplete work and feel more depressed. The feeling of being used up is very important.
Tellurium has a fear of vehicles, accidents, high places, heights, narrow spaces, shows, performances, speeches, approaches of others. They cannot bear others to approach them or touch them. Touch aggravates. They are very sensitive to touch in different parts. Sore parts are sensitive to touch. Even a slight movement like laughing or the slightest touch aggravates the pain. Delusion, as if floating in air. This is expressive of his innate desire.
Vertigo, rising after +3, floating.
While dreams express what is happening to him in reality. Dreams of falling from heights, unpleasant, and nightmares. The most important dream is of smoking cigars. It symbolizes his imagination and passing time in deep thoughts. This dream comes most frequently. Very sensitive back, mainly from ruptured intervertebral disc. Pain is predominantly on the right side, traveling from the last cervical to the 5th dorsal. Acute back pain aggravated by motion, touch, stool, cough, fatigue, and better by partial rest. Contractions of tendons, sacral and sciatic pains, right side pain from the back extending to the head, upon pressure or touch. Important symptoms are sensitiveness of back, numbness, sense of retention, linear pains, slow development of symptoms, offensive discharges, sweat, flatus, vomit. Discharges are acrid with salty taste. Inflammation of periosteum, sensitiveness of bones, chills come down the spine, sweat on spots, affection of nerves. Symptoms come and go suddenly. Aggravation from the slightest touch. Touch causes spinal pain. Touch causes bleeding from ears. Shortened muscles and shortened tendons.
Craving, melons, apples, salt, bacon, beer, bread, cold drink, cold water, salt. Aversions, meat, tobacco. Ear, infection, watery discharge, acrid discharge, yellow, grey, green discharge, fish brine-like discharge, eczema behind ears and edematous swelling. Nose, coryza, better in open air. Throat, expectoration, salty phlegm. Eyes, deposited chalky mass. Discharges are purulent and pustular. Lids thickened with lot of itching. Face, left angle of mouth drawn up and to left. Stomach, empty, weak feeling. Rectum, itching after every stew.